in your book, you talk about paying very special attention to health professionals and to know all that you can about your own personal route to your own tinnitus wellness. That's through ENT and audiology. Now, I'd like to ask the question, is that because you feel that it is important to learn so that you know about the condition? And does that information help you through it somehow? Does that give you an extra 10%, would you say, when maybe having to combat this spike? So information seems very prevalent to you. So would what, you know, is it important, Jack?
I think it's for me, the important word is being proactive. Whatever that is for someone, whatever that is for you, be proactive. So I want to give an example. I lost my voice in 2017. Between 2017 and 18, I lost my voice. No one could tell me what was wrong. And I'm being a singer, losing your voice is not a good situation. And I went to several different doctors and nobody could find out what was wrong with me. And I had to keep going. I had to keep going and paying money for private, whatever it took. I had to find out what was wrong with me. In the end, I got to the top guy in Norway. He diagnosed me within 3 minutes and my voice recovered after a series of months. That taught me the importance of just keep going until you find the right answers for yourself. So if that's finding more information about tinnitus, great. But you got to be a bit careful with that because you can also find too much information out with tinnitus and it can become an obsession. And I think that that's a problem with people with tinnitus, is that I would suggest find the information that you need, but don't keep going back to it. Don't keep going back to the forums. Don't keep going back to the forums that give you updates on research and stuff like that. Go back to them as much as you need, but it can become a bit of an obsession. And I think that the problem with that is that the more you obsess about it, the more you think about it, the more you think about it, the more you can hear it. And that's a problem. So I think that the reason why I say that in the book, find out information, I think more at the start, because that can help you prevent your tinnitus getting worse. And this is what I mean. If you go back to me at 27, I didn't do anything. I didn't find out any information. I didn't even go on the internet. I just carried on. And that was a mistake. So what I would suggest to people is find out information at the start. Find out all the stuff you need to know. Like you said as well, like you mentioned in the book, find out the tone of your tinnitus so that you can be aware of that tone. Find out if you've got any problems with your ears, sort of any physical damage to your ears in terms of, other things than tinnitus. So find out all that information. But I would suggest that once you've found that information out, learn from it, but don't keep going back to it, because it can become a little bit of an obsession. And I think that's not necessarily good.
That's a brilliant answer, Jack. It's so pertinent for lots of people out there right now. And I think that's a great answer. I really cherish that answer, Jack. Yeah,
Thank you.
I think I struggled with that 30 years ago, 25 years ago, which was obsessing over a problem. I should have let it go and done the research. But what I was doing, and I think a lot of us do that in the community when we're not got everything under check and control, is that we keep going back to see if actually, that sound exposure that I may or may not have had, yeah, it has damaged me. And then, no, it hasn't, says the book. And then you find another one that says, maybe it has. And you're almost looking for your own kind of path to self-destruction, rather than that one answer is fine. The other one is also, yeah, there's an alternate view, but why take that one where, it's still clinical information as long as it's not a lie, which they're not. And it is that thing, isn't it? It's that part of that thing that we do, this bargaining, what if, what happened when, or if I'd have done that, if that would have happened. And it's like, it's very difficult. It's very easy to say, isn't it? But I think you're absolutely right. And I guess also what you're saying, a peripheral kind of route that you're saying, is that you've just got to let it go, haven't you? You've got to, otherwise you can't recover from it. I remember having so many problems with tinnitus, but one of them in 2008 was a botched earwax removal. But I didn't, although I was dealing with the problems of it, I didn't go back, and I'm not saying you should or you shouldn't, but it was only personal, Jack. I didn't go back and say, look, you've messed it up, I'm gone, that's it, my life's over. I knew that inside, if I went to take somebody to court, then that would be 2 years of me not being able to manage the anxiety attributed to it, because then I'd be almost giving it more proof that something has happened. And it was very important when I was finally able to let go of that. And I think what you're saying is absolutely right. I think that is absolutely it. And it's great to hear it from another person from our absolutely fantastic community, Jack, that you're saying that. It's brilliant.